Good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I'm your host, Keith Parris. I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. My voice is a little something because I was doing background vocals for Stevie Wonder last night. Yeah, good morning, Jermaine. Good morning.
He didn't know it, though.
He didn't know it. He couldn't see it.
For your love.
That was a low one. He said he couldn't see it. Wow, this guy.
He's starting already.
The story said Stevie Wonder was at a basketball game. They showed him looking up at the jumbotron.
Oh my God! Now,
That's not funny.
Oh my!
You know what? And Stevie Wonder will take. He don't have a problem with the whole. He's been blind all his life, right?
Right.
But when he did Saturday Night Live, and they had him on, and it was Cannon. Remember Cannon?
Yeah.
And he's out playing tennis, and he's missing the ball,
Yeah.
and the whole thing looking like a tennis player. He ain't sensitive about it.
Nah, man. I think he has fun with it, man. He just accept it and embrace it. I should say,
man.
Yeah.
But good show. It looks like it was, if not a sellout, close to a sellout.
Yeah.
It was, because when the house lights come up, because people, the show was about an hour. Not saying late. They were letting people still get in.
Oh, really?
And so the show started about 8:30. It's scheduled for 7:30.
So he didn't have anybody opening for him?
No, he does have a sister. God, I knew I was going to forget her name. She did the 15-minute intermission.
Okay.
Dude.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think it's Kayla. Kayla is something.
Wow.
But she played piano. She sang. She did a Roberta Flack song. She did the Stevie Wonder song, I'm Gonna Knock on Your Door. He wrote for Aretha Franklin.
Aretha did that, yeah.
Yeah, but he wrote it for her. She tells the story, said that I got a call, and I think they called her Riri. And Stevie said, Riri, I got a song for you. And it was that song.
Wow.
Yeah. And she did another Stevie Wonder song. And then there was a song that she did with the.
That's called Till You Come Back to Me, isn't it?
Till you come back to me. That's all I'm gonna do. Dun, 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 dun. So yeah, good. Saw a lot of folks there last night. I sat next to Ralph Holman. It was a great show. So
did you see you know who?
No, but they was going live. They recorded
all the way live.
That Lakeside?
You know who we talking about, don't you, man?
Yeah.
All the way live.
Man, you know who we talking about, don't you? When I say you know who.
I saw Lakeside one time on Soul Train. And I don't know if they was doing crack, but they look crackish. They really look.
I wouldn't put it past them.
They
Jack.
really look crackish,
Yeah.
man. I mean, all of them looked like they was emaciated.
Yeah.
And they doing.
Maybe they were just inebriated.
Could have been, but they do tracks anyway. So
Yeah.
you
I ain't singing for real.
So anyway. 414-444-5250, 414-444-5250, Free Flow Friday.
So I got a quick question for you. Two questions, really. So with the first game being under the Bucks belt, and I know that we've had conversations. I was just wondering, what do you think?
Well, we're gonna get to that.
Okay, I'm gonna wait on it.
We go
wait on it. What's going on, Jack? Hey, good to see you, man.
See, he got his Bucks gear on.
I see. Hey, man, it's the home opener, man.
Yeah.
And the reason, Jermaine, I'm kind of there's trepidation in me discussing
trepidation. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta use some big words. Trepidation in me doing this is it's the football season, man.
Yeah,
World Series.
Well, it's the World Series, it's football season, but it's the grand opening.
Don't nobody care about the World Series?
Hold on.
Care about the World
Man,
Series?
please, man.
You don't care about the World Series.
Yeah, you're a baby boomer, so
I mean, I care about the World
Care
Series.
about the World Series?
you right after the baby.
No.
But let me do this. Let me do this real quick.
Right after.
Because I
Typically, after
want to.
my
I don't know
team
if
is
this
out,
is
I
a
don't care.
cleanup. Let's do a follow-up. Aisle 5. Remember the argument we were having about meaningless games or meaningless times of the game?
Uh-huh.
All right. So Mike Evans goes down, right? 1 minute, 14 seconds left in the game. There's no way Tampa Bay is going to win that game. Why is Chris Godwin on the field?
Exactly.
And what happened?
He got hurt.
He got hurt.
Yep.
So then never play.
No, you got to use common sense to
No,
win
that's
play.
not
Business decisions.
No, see, and y'all was talking about high school kids with business decisions. First of all, they ain't got no business. All right,
That's true.
That's
true.
that don't even make sense. Secondly, if the NFL players,
ready to
Yeah,
start.
man,
some
'cause
stuff.
Man, he got into
the
the chamber,
NFL
Jack.
players, they have incentives in their contract. So he could have got a touchdown. He could have got an extra yard to contribute to whatever
Game
incentive.
6.
I'm saying, but at the end of the season,
Right.
you get a
Yeah.
certain amount of money based
Yeah.
off those
how much
incentives.
he was going to produce with 1 minute 14 seconds left?
What you mean? The Packers won last week with less than a minute. So what you mean? What can
No,
But
no, they
dude,
wasn't winning
Tampa
the
Bay
game.
was getting
They were done.
smoked. Man, it was
but
over.
over.
no, but I'm talking about incentives as far as yards, touchdowns, catches. That could have contributed to his bottom line of business.
Well, he
decision.
really ain't gonna
He
get it
would've-
now.
Well, he's not
That's
gonna get
fair.
it now because that can happen on any play.
Because he went out. He's out for the season.
He's out for the season, but he really don't have a chance now compared to if they would have took him out the game of something that didn't even matter
It's a
because they
could
was
always
losing.
do
decision, and
if.
they
Yeah.
were-
Yeah.
There were people critical of the coach.
Yeah.
You could always do if.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can do if with everything, but
If was
at
a
the
fifth.
at the end
That's
of the
called
day,
radio.
if they would have took
Right.
him out, and
He would have
and-
been playing next week.
no, I'm saying if they would have took him out, and at the end of the season, when it's all said and done, he would have came up some yards short.
Okay.
He would have been talking to his agent like, "Man, they took me out."
Well, let me tell you
at
what
the
they
end of the
also
game.
do, because they can get a call from upstairs
Yeah.
saying don't play him
Pull him out the game.
just because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can.
And that has happened
happened.
before.
Yeah, that
That
happened with Shannon
has
Sharp.
yeah,
Yeah.
that has
Shannon Sharp
happened to
talked
keep the
about that.
players from reaching.
Reaching that because that financial incentive.
Yeah.
Did
So no,
Deshaun Watson's done for the season? Right?
He's
yeah,
done. I
Achilles?
couldn't believe how the crowd reacted to
Oh, dude.
that was bogus.
man. They
Dude.
cheered. What?
Yeah.
That's what you get.
Yeah.
That was
Because the
bogus.
Cleveland Browns made one of the worst football decisions ever,
Man, Cleveland
signing
playing
him
worse.
for all that money.
In hindsight,
No,
But
at the
no.
time,
No,
he
yeah.
was one of the hottest
Yeah.
young
Coming off
quarterbacks in the
injury.
league.
Yeah, but he
have
was
to
coming
agree.
off injury in Houston.
No, he was
No,
coming off.
no,
No,
he was coming off that
them
suspension.
cases.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
cases.
but he was
coming
also
off,
injured too.
Was he
coming off
injured?
Yeah, he was injured too. So I wouldn't have, but Cleveland, poor Cleveland, poor Cleveland. That's why you
They-
never go to the Super
They
Bowl.
can't catch a
Poor
break.
New York Jets.
No, hell.
Bump the Jets.
No,
man.
I'm saying for the simple fact, I'm glad, man, that they're going down the toilet because it's the New York Packers. You got
No.
Aaron Rodgers, you got Devontae, you had Randall, you got
Lazard,
Lazard.
Yeah.
So
the coach,
and
one of the offensive linemen.
the
Y'all see
offensive
who the
coach,
Packers picked up?
yeah,
Who that?
Robert Solomon, Robert.
Rather solid.
Oh,
yeah,
the coach.
Yeah.
So that goes to show you.
Apparently, LaFleur was his best man, or vice versa.
And they
so
was
they were-
roommates too.
Oh, okay,
But
so
then
they
Robert
close.
Saleh,
Yeah.
he coached at Wisconsin, right? Wasn't he the defensive coordinator?
He sure was. I
What?
think he sure
No,
was.
I
No,
don't
no, no,
know
no,
that.
no.
I
Really?
think
He was
I think
back.
he
Yeah.
was back in the day before
Yeah.
he went to LSU.
And I didn't know he had Wisconsin ties.
I
like
think
that.
if that's the
I
same
think
guy,
So
because the whole issue was whether or not he's going to be the head coach. Let me see. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought he had ties.
yeah, man, the Jets is going down the drain.
Jets, when has the Jets been up?
No, but when the season started, they was talking to all the Jets is, be this. Aaron Rodgers
What
is
is the
back, and they're
record
gonna
right now?
prove
What is
people
the record?
2-5, and they're gonna be
Yeah.
2-6 if they lose to the Patriots on Sunday. But
They shouldn't lose to them.
and if they do, I'm gonna laugh so hard, man. I'm gonna be Stephen A. Smith.
That would
Stephen
be-
A.
that
B.
would
with
be
the
bad.
So
Cowboys.
I didn't. Did they win this past Sunday?
No, they lost.
That would be bad if you lose.
That
And,
was,
and Devontae Adams looked terrible too.
I was
But
gonna say
his
that was
first
Devontae's
game.
I don't
debut game.
care. He
First
looked
game,
terrible, man. That ain't his first time playing with Rodgers.
That would be bad.
Yeah, but he just got there.
Man, I ain't trying to hear that. He wanted out.
I would
He
still
wanted
be
to get
bad.
there.
I think you're upset that he didn't try to re-sign with the Packers.
I
'Cause
wouldn't
he
want him
traded-
there because
Oh,
man, we got
yes.
Dobbs and we got all these young cats. That's look, we got
Dobbs,
all
come on now.
we got all of these young cats. That's no names, but I like it though because they play hard and they play hard, and you ain't got to worry about the diva attitude.
No, he wasn't
He
with
wasn't with
Wisconsin.
He
Yeah.
was with Michigan State. I'm sorry.
So yeah, you ain't got to deal with all of these diva attitudes of I'm this and I'm that, like the CD Lambs of the world.
You ain't well.
He's not throwing to me.
Yeah.
I mean, Dobbs, he looked like something's going on with him. You can just see it in his face.
It's a mental thing, and then I think they got into it with the coach and they suspended him to one
caught a
game. Yeah.
Well, he didn't
wasn't
go
coming
to two
he wasn't coming to
practices.
practice.
He
He
skipped
missed
two
some
practices.
meetings.
Yeah, sit down. Yeah, go sit down somewhere.
But they had a come to Jesus moment.
Yeah.
Last week he had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So hey, all is good in Packerland.
Yeah, but show up for practice.
Yeah.
He there now.
Practice.
I mean, he was
What
there
are we
last
talking
week.
about? We're talking about
Practice?
practice?
He was
Now
there
get your
last week.
Iverson on. She said,
We'll,
all right.
we'll get back to this. Let's
Did anybody in the room get a chance to go by and see Doc Rivers and Terry Porter and Second Gentleman yesterday
no
over at Clinton Rose?
That's what the dump trucks
And
were
it was,
for.
it was traffic.
Yeah, they were over
everywhere,
at Clinton Rose
Yeah,
yesterday.
okay.
Yeah, it was traffic everywhere. And
Yeah,
traffic.
we were. We had.
You had Governor Westmoreland was over there as well.
Wow.
Governor.
Yeah. Where's the governor,
Where-
Keith?
Maryland.
Governor from Maryland, yeah.
We
Oh,
interviewed him.
Westmore.
Yes, Westmore.
He
Yeah.
said he said Westmoreland.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking he talking about the
I
alderman.
thought it was Moreland.
No, it's more.
More, okay.
Mo.
Mo
Westmo.
Westmoreland.
All right. Oh, you got a perspective today.
Mhm.
I didn't
He
see
always
that.
got one.
Well, last week we were supposed to have 2 interviews and we only had one.
Who was the second one?
You tell me. You said we got 2 interviews. One at 9.
Who
The
did we
other one
interview
was
last
like
week?
at
I don't know.
10:30.
Who did we interview last week? Danny Davis, right?
Well, I came in. It was that lady, and then
That lady.
the lady and that man.
Who's that lady? We did AI.
Yeah, and then you said
Didn't we
said
have
Oh,
Danny?
you said a
yeah,
10:30.
Yeah. It was the young lady and the
Yeah.
the Mexican guy.
Then you said a 10:30, but that never came about.
Oh,
So.
okay.
Hispanic.
Hispanic, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, about the AI.
Benjamin.
Yeah.
Benjamin Juarez.
Yeah.
And what was her name? Nadia.
Nadia, yeah.
Yeah.
Nadia
Um,
Gonzalez.
man, you should have been here Wednesday. Wednesday looked like a Friday man show.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah,
What
we
was going on?
had.
Yeah, man.
Quick, who said, man, what is this? A barbershop? You the double, triple book people.
Yeah, the mayor came
The
in.
mayor came in. Marcelia Nicholson came in. We had an interview, Jennifer McClellan,
Wow.
and I had Kwaku and Leah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
going down.
And then Nichols came in, but he only handed you something. But I thought for sure he was going to try to get on the mic.
No. He was handling some business.
Yeah. I was doing a deal. I seen that deal. Went down.
Doing a deal. It's so stupid.
You got the product?
Yeah, I got the money.
Here is your envelope, sir.
Just give me my money. Just give me my money.
I didn't know you had Puerto Rican cousins.
Well, that's El Characho. The El Characho is
No,
a
he
famous
only come in the
bullfighter, man.
afternoon. Don't
Yeah.
have him coming in the
The
morning.
El
El
Characho,
Characho.
yeah. The El Characho is a great.
Don't vote for anybody.
Yeah, don't vote for anybody. Be happy, man. Watch TV and don't vote for anybody, man. Be free. That's what he said. Be free.
But Obama yesterday, and they were in a rally late last night. I thought, oh, what? So Bruce Springsteen, they were
Oh,
in
yeah, I saw
Georgia, and who's my guy? Tyler Perry. I mean, just it was packed, and that was pretty much what Obama was saying.
Yeah.
It got to vote, man. But let me say this, and you were saying one of the things you want to talk about is election fatigue. Oh, this is what Obama said, and I agree with him. He said, I don't even watch like news or anything because of the commercials. Commercials
it's
get to him.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So
man.
he was like, I don't even watch that. And I'm like him. And even maybe I should just go and pay for YouTube, and then I don't have to deal with the commercials.
Yeah.
Man,
But I got a
'cause,
question though, and
But I think
this is
you,
my-
I think you're in your heart of hearts, you know what you're going to do. So I don't think nothing in the way of commercials or anything is going to alter my opinion or decision this late in the game.
Because someone had asked, have we voted? And we were talking. And I said, yeah, we voted. But I asked my wife, what if I change my mind? So, and Frankie voted.
I saw that.
Yeah, Frankie
He
Williams.
looked different, man.
Man, he's 19.
Man, dang, he 19.
He's 19, man.
Dang, that's starting to make me feel old, man.
I was going to ask you, you talking about Frankie Beverly?
No, my godson.
I see. I don't know Frankie, man. You
I
looked
never
at me.
brought Frankie up here.
No, you haven't.
Growing
done
up
that.
in church, everybody always be like, "Oh man, you making me feel old. I remember you."
Right.
Now I'm actually saying that, and
That's
crazy.
right. That's because you are old now, DJ.
No, I'm not old. I don't think you old until you get to about 40.
Until you get old.
40.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Move that again.
Yeah, that number's going
When
to
you
move.
always talk about moving the goalpost,
No,
that
40,
goalpost
40,
gonna move
no,
a couple of
40,
times.
40 is still young. I mean, what is the life expectancy around like 70? So
Yeah.
potentially,
76, 78.
I've probably lived half of my life already.
But who was the sister lived to be 115?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we talked about that. And I don't know how nature is going to balance itself when it comes to this, but we are living longer and we're living a more quality life as we live younger. You know, we talk about a lot of these 90-year-olds. Remember, took that 90-year-old plus program. We had like 5 of those 15 gentlemen was still driving.
Right.
You know, and they passed 90.
You know what? It was about 8 years ago where I was in the barbershop. Shout out to Excel. And I was waiting to get
Was
a
that a
haircut.
plug, man? Was that a shameless plug?
Hey, that's a community staple. What you
That's a
talking
shameless
about?
plug.
No, it ain't. There's nothing shameless about it.
No, we don't do shameless plugs. He's right there on the corner.
Right. If I was
a shameless plug.
If I was
Right
gonna
there on
I
Center
would
Street.
tell you that.
There on center. Everybody know about Excel. Shout out to X and Mac. Anyway,
Where are they
it was
located?
Fifth and Center.
Who?
Fifth and Center.
On the alley right there?
Yeah.
Mhm, right on the corner.
Crossing the old Dicks?
Yeah,
Right across
the
the street from
the liquor
that
store.
right across the
That,
street from
church,
that.
right? There's
Yep,
a
that
church over there.
Mhm.
But again, I said the old Dick. Y'all
That's the
would,
old
y'all,
Dicks.
they wouldn't know
Oh,
nothing
the
about it.
liquor store.
No,
That was a
grocery
grocery store called Dick's.
Dicks.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
But anyway,
Chip
it was
McCaffrey.
a 92-year-old man that walked in, and he didn't have no cane, no walker, and he was driving, and he didn't have any glasses. And Matt was like, check out how old he is. And then he told me I'm 92. And I was like, man, you look amazing. Like I was loud. I'm never that loud in the barbershop. I was like, oh, you look amazing. And he was like, yeah, the best medicine is to smile. He's like, you know, no matter what goes on, you know, just keep on smiling. That's the best medicine.
That's why you smile when I be talking crazy to you?
I just smile just cause.
Might
be. Might be.
Like, keep me from punching you in your throat. No,
Get all Carmi and stuff in here. Carmi they was getting Carmi a hard time, and Carmi's voice was getting lower and lower. Like it get quiet and
madder and madder.
Yeah, all right.
But
All
a
right, let's get
92-year-old with no walker, no glasses, and still able to drive. That was amazing. And like I said, that was about 8 years ago.
No, your old pastor lived to be about 217, didn't he? Who? Elder Wallace.
Elder Wallace was an old joker.
When I was a kid,
when I was a kid, he was old. He was old when I was a kid.
He older than you, so
So that's what I'm saying,
might
Jack.
be
Doc,
200.
he was
No,
he was old, bro. No, seriously, he was
lived to be like 90.
95, 96.
And then didn't
He
Williams?
What, 3 wives?
When he
or something?
J.C. Williams.
Yeah, when he 90.
Yeah,
Yep.
Williams was
Yeah,
up there.
Williams, that was my cousin.
Really?
Yeah. He married my cousin.
Oh, Johnny Chester Williams.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, J.C.
JC,
Williams.
that's what that stood for, Johnny Chester.
Now,
Don't
to
know
your
how that
point,
cocaine got in that baptismal pool.
boy, listen
Hey,
here.
man, stop it.
Hey man,
I'm gonna leave that alone. Hey, but to your point, man, I was playing ball. And working out there with this guy, man, that was 76 years old, right? He was running up down the court with us, like running up down the court. When we went to lift weights, he was lifting weights, and he lifted about 300 pounds.
bench or squat?
Bench. He did bench. Me and my good cousin Rodney Poe, that we was at the gym.
What's his name?
Rodney Poe? Well, that ain't the old guy, man.
No, I know Rodney.
Oh yeah,
Carsey,
yeah,
too.
yeah, Carson, yeah.
I was their coach.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, I had them in the 8th grade.
Yeah, old
Dropped my
Carson
name.
Poe.
drop my name to any of those Poe brothers.
Oh,
And they will
yeah.
tell you every time I talk to Rodney. Rodney talks to me about someone had bought them great sneakers.
Yeah.
He thought I did.
Yeah.
It was Walter Farrell, right?
Wow.
And so he said, "Oh man, Keith hooked me and Carsey up."
Yeah.
Because at one point, I think my brother was going to church with them.
Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, man, we was at the gym working out, man, and I was talking to him because it just blew my mind to see him at that age working out and lifting weights. So I asked him, I said, man, like what are you eating? Like, what do you do? He told me that he does ginger twice in the morning, like in the morning and the afternoon. And then he eats a lot of fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, eat meat one time a week. And
it is about your diet.
And this cat, like you said, he looked amazing at what he was 76, I believe. He was 76, turning 77. And I just looked at him and I'm like, man, I want to be like that.
Right.
Man, I want to be able to have the energy and run up down the court with the young boys and talk crazy. And he was out there balling too. So I'm like, man, that's awesome. He was out there balling, man.
I know she's listening. As Kenny say, you going damn. You going damn.
Speaking of working out, I just want to give a shout out to my brother who's on his own weight loss journey, and yep, he's doing really good. I'm not gonna say how much weight he lost, but he's doing really good, and he is at the Iron Fist Fitness out in Waukesha, and so the owner is Shannon Vick.
Yeah.
And he's just doing really, really good work. They offer personal classes, kickboxing, regular boxing, all type of work. So shout out to
another shameless plug.
Iron Fist Fitness.
Well, you know what? Speaking of
after
losing weight, man,
we got to talk about that.
Speaking of losing weight, man, I can show you a picture, man. I was
they both helped the community. The first one was a community staple, and the second one was like Be Healthy, Be You. Is to help the community in a healthier way.
And he good too.
Hey, do you see how he tied it in?
Yeah.
Well, that boy good over
man,
there.
He good.
Well, that boy good.
He good.
No, but speaking of losing weight, man, I was 290 pounds, man. And
you couldn't tell that, right?
Bro,
now.
I'll show you a picture. You'll be like, that is not you.
Yeah, I used to weigh that too.
I was 290 pounds, man.
No, I didn't.
Right now, I'm at 225.
That's really good, man.
So when did you do your best work? When you were big Jermaine?
Oh, big Luther, small Luther.
When did you do your best
but
work?
Listen here, Jack. When I was bending over to tie my shoes, you talking about yelling and screaming because it was pinching. All of the, it pitched real good, Jack.
That weight, the sweating.
Oh
man, it is.
And also, dude, my body was like an old 1976 Buick, like when it overheat and the car shut off in the middle of the street. That's how my body was, because with all of the weight, and then they had the heat on, and then like I'll be talking to you, and then bro, it wasn't even narcolepsy. It was just fat-itis. It was just fat-itis, Jack.
All that weight, man.
It was fat-itis, man. I'll never forget it, man. I was on the organ. I got two stories. I was on the organ at Community. Dr. Williams almost fired me like 90 times. I was on the organ playing during service, and I remember him being up, and it was during the wintertime. They had the heat on in that joint. I mean, it was hot. So I'm in there like, I'm trying to stay woke. I'm moving around and drinking water. All I remember was him saying, "Say yeah." Dude, it was like right out.
Bad.
Right out. Doc, I mean, I was counting. I was counting sheep. I don't know how, man. I was fake. Listen, Jack, I tried to fight that thing. Debo. I was counting sheep over.
That's one hell of a find right there.
Yeah. And then I see Debo find his man. Even go to Debo going,
man, listen. And my last incident.
Oh yeah.
My last incident, man. Bishop Daniels, God rest his soul. We was at a funeral in Racine. And Doc, I'm on the organ.
Were you at Grace?
Cornell's church. So, the one that had built the church from the ground that we had the one arm.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So we had his church.
He built the whole church by himself with one arm.
Yeah.
Look at God.
It's possible. I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
He built it. Oh, he had it built from the ground.
Well, he did some of the work too. Like he did some of the groundwork too.
Never mind.
Like, he was
Just
all.
leave it alone.
I know you got jokes, but I ain't even going there with you. I ain't even going. So I'm on the organ, and the family in the front row, man. And when I tell you, the heat was on in too. I'm on the organ, man. I fell asleep, and I didn't turn off the drawbars. So by me not turning off the drawbars, I fell asleep on the keys. So the family sitting in the front row, I'm like on the keys, and then Bishop was yelling, right out, right out, right out, right out. Doc, when I woke up, looked to my right, the family was looking at me. I looked back at Bishop, I put my finger up and walked out the side door. And that family probably still looking for me now. I didn't come back from there.
They pay you before.
Yeah, Doc.
No, he go. Yeah.
that's
Yeah, that's sad to hear.
What's that?
that's definitely unfortunate.
Man,
Yeah.
I had to go and cover for a pastor friend of mine. He had 2 services, and he said, Keith, what do you want for breakfast? I said, dude, you can't feed me breakfast
Right.
and expect me to go out and do anything. I'm gonna be sleep on your couch,
Right.
man. And it wasn't like one of those healthy breakfast, bring you
Mhm.
some fruit. They was talking like breakfast.
Right. Now
Yeah.
that type of breakfast, you definitely gonna be
Yeah,
sleeping.
you knocked out.
You know, it's amazing. Church folks eat a lot.
Mhm.
Well, that's the drug.
Yeah, eat
Quit
a lot.
drinking, quit smoking.
Yeah,
I
You
never I
But
never
eating?
really been to a healthy looking
Repass.
no church.
sure.
There's a lot of big folks up in church.
Big
Folks up in church.
Man, big backs, yeah.
because they
Big,
Big
back,
backs.
big back, big backs, big backs.
But some of the best cooks
Don't we need to take a
are
break
from church.
Yeah, we need to take a break.
Big back.
Big back, big
They
back.
had
the best
a
cooks
few
is from
years back.
church.
They had a comedy cafe over at the Holy Redeemer. They just had one too.
Sure did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Small
And
fry.
so my wife went, and she called me. It was Friday night. She said, "Keith, they ran out of catfish, but I'm going to bring you some wings." I said, "Okay." So she bring in. I'm talking 3 huge pterodactyl wings. Right.
Wow.
I took that first bite. I said, "A big girl made these wings."
Oh yeah. See,
Somebody knew her way around a wing. Made
Mhm.
this wing.
You see
Yeah.
the smile. You see the smile.
that's
on
when you
his
know.
face,
That's when you know it's good. That when you look back in the kitchen and you see
Yeah.
that arm like
There
that.
used to be a place out on Good Hope
Jermaine.
where
It's the truth. I mean,
They
that's,
hold that arm up in that.
Yeah, dog.
Meat
You see
is
that
moving
thing.
up.
Dog.
everybody
I
know
want
that.
everything on the menu.
Everybody know that.
I want
Well, you know where the Northwest Funeral Chapel, their event space out on Good Hope.
Yeah.
That used to be the Friendly Inn.
It was a red meal too,
And
wasn't
it
it?
became the Red
Yeah,
Mill after
yeah.
the Friendly Inn. And I love going to the Friendly Inn for that prime rib. But it's the thing I like about this place is the waitresses look like they eat here.
Oh yeah.
Big girls.
Yeah.
They look like they eat
Big
here.
back, big back.
You're listening to Community Voices Friday, our Free Flow Friday, joined in the studio by Devon Jones, DJ The Protege, Jermaine, the main man,
Hey,
and of course, Mr. Debo himself.
Harvey. This is Harvey.
Harvey! Friday, my
Pop Smurf.
Pop Smurf. Oh! Remember we were trying to figure out what the female Smurf's name was?
Yes.
Smurfette.
Yeah.
Yeah, Smurfette.
Thank you, Rhonda. Smurfette. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. You know, welcome back. I had
He
the
just
great
brought the
honor.
sexy on, didn't he?
Start off the lights.
That's your best work right there,
Yeah.
Well,
man.
thank you, bro.
Yeah, he
I
came
had the
in-
great honor to MC the 100 Freedom Fund dinner here for the Milwaukee branch of NAACP, and we came. And here's what I did. You fall right back into a habit. I said, "Welcome back."
Welcome back.
You're inside. Community voice. So Friday, let's get the caller.
Yeah.
Thank you for your patience. You're in there.
Yeah, thank you. I have two bones that I would like to break on somebody. I notice every time it comes to Section 8, they always put a picture of a black woman like jumping for joy and being happy. And I think they should try to change the narrative because black women are more than Section 8, scrubs, fixed rent. You know, and I noticed that every time there's a thing for, they say, oh, Section 8 is opening up, they always put a picture of a black woman smiling. And I feel like that's sending the wrong message because black women are more than fixed rent in low income houses. I'm thinking maybe they can, you know, show somebody else because I don't want black women to feel like all their good is for, you know, fixed rent. Because, you know, with Section 8, it keeps them there for 7 years and they have no desire to move any higher because it's fixed rent. So I wanted to share that with you. And also, I wanted to say, too, on behalf of the black community, we mind our business. We stay out of everybody else's business. So we want to offer our condolences to the man who lost his life at the convenience store.
Yeah.
We respectfully and kindly just ask that please do not group us with them no good niggas. Because I know a lot of times we always get typecast as a bad part. And I just want you, the listeners, to know we don't want to be bothered with them neither. They just choose to come over here by us. But we do offer our condolences that that's not what all we as black people are about. We mind our business. We stay out of everybody else's business, but we respectfully and kindly ask that please do not group us with them niggas. Have a great weekend, everybody.
No comment.
No, I ain't got no comment.
Caller, welcome to the program.
Thank you for your patience. You're on there.
Thank you for taking my call. And assalamu alaikum to you, brothers.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. I wanted to say this, and it probably is going to come off as harsh.
Friday.
Although the truth has to be stated. I do extend my condolences to the person who lost his life, but I must attest and testify, bear witness, that the person who was shot, he pulled the gun on me when I went into that store to use cryptocurrency to buy something for myself and my brother. and he was upset because I came a few minutes before they were closing. I think it was about 8:45 or something like that. But I had gone over there for years, and my sister once owned the house around the corner from the store, so we had a history of going there regularly. And the man who lost his brother, that man approached me with the proposition of buying a gun that shoots like a lot of people. It's like a gun for war. And that guy that got shot, I saw him disrespect black people continuously, demean black women, call us niggers, call us low life, and all manner of things as he took our money. So I don't know. I'm sure I know why the guy probably shot him, but I think the thing of it all is that black dude probably would have gotten shot by that man who was shot had that man got to the counter and pulled the gun, the assault rifle or weapon that if you go on Call of Duty, you play with guns like that on video games and stuff like that, unless you are an army person or some type of paramilitary person. But I'm letting the world know that guy who got shot at that store, Action Foods, he pulled a gun on me personally. And I'll tell whoever, whenever, and whatever time they would like for me to mention it. Thank you for taking my call.
I appreciate you. 414-444-5250, 444-444-5250. Let's see. So we talking about I don't want to see another political ad. I don't want to hear another political ad. After a while, and look, we go through it all the time. It's our cycle, right? It's coming. But man, it's it's fatigue. I think when we were talking about our discussion points today, one of the things that DJ pointed out was that there is a certain level of election fatigue. But let me say this. There is also a great deal of enthusiasm. You're looking at across the country, places where they're doing early voting. They're shattering records in terms of people turning out, to vote in person, early voting. And so I think I used the word earlier. There's trepidation here because I just don't know how it's going to turn. But I do know if we go on the numbers, and maybe we had an indicator in August when they shattered records for a primary for people to turn out, and I think it by what you're looking at.
We voted in August.
Yeah.
That was that
primary.
Special election.
Special election was July 13th, something like that around there. And then that was to fill Lena's seat. But then we had our regular fall, summer primary to determine who's on the ballot now. So yeah, we did have.
Like I said, I don't know if you talked about it already, but I'm electioned out, man.
Have you voted yet?
No, I don't ever vote early. I'm not never. Let's take that back. I voted early one time when I was in college in Chicago. Actually, I was able to vote on my birthday. Came back, voted, and that was in 2012. That's the only time I voted early.
I have voted absentee or mail-in or early in person. I have not voted on election day. It's been years since I voted on election day.
What sparked the change?
Convenience. I mean, we were doing the early voting, and then we started doing mail-in voting, but the convenience of it. And if those lines are serious, man. So, because we went to several early polling spots, went to one place that wasn't doing early polling, early voting, and then
I've been voting the same place my whole life.
Yeah. So then went to MATC. I mean, it's a student at MATC. Went down and he voted at MATC. So I think people will get out and vote. I'm going back and forth in my mind about how much of this talk of, black people supporting Donald Trump. I think those folks are more outliers and aberrations. I think a significant number of black folks are going to vote for Kamala Harris. I just think, and I think this country is so divided right now.
I think election brings that though.
Yeah, but I think we've also had some other things. I think goes back to January 6th. And I think that people
Before January 6th, we were divided.
Yeah, but I think
I
it's
mean,
kind of feel
if
like
you
it's
go,
on steroids
if you
now.
go, I mean, I don't think it's on steroids. I think that the coverage of the division
it's on
is on
steroids?
steroids. Nah, I think that the coverage of the division is on steroids because can you? I'm gonna say can you remember, but I'm pretty sure you do. I remember Hurricane Katrina at that time.
2005.
How divided the nation was with that when Obama first ran. How divided the nation was, even within the own party. I mean, that's kind of similar now with the Democratic Party being divided between Hillary and former President Barack Obama then, and now the party was just divided just between Kamala Harris and not being a full backer of her as early as this year.
But let me say this: once it was all hands on deck, it's all hands on deck. We have been interviewing people. We've had conversations with people.
I mean, you got to change the tune now because the goal is to win. And like I said, it's a competition.
But big difference between 2016 and 2024. And I know people say, "Well, that's 8 years," but it's a real big difference. And it pointed out, and you're hearing people in Wisconsin understand that we're going to be part of what decides this election.
Mhm.
And I think that's why the turnout is what it is, because the brother that called in for Colorado, they ain't seen a president candidate yet, because those places. So the places where like California, I was surprised, but she's going to Houston. I was surprised that Kamala Harris was going to Texas,
Right.
but she's going to Houston, and she's going to have Beyonce with her in Houston.
I don't be liking that either.
Well,
Liking what?
That pandering stuff.
Pandering is called politics.
Just having you bring Beyonce, you bring Cardi B, you bring Megan Thee Stallion. You're bringing that not for white folks.
well, no, that ain't true.
So now you're only attention grabber
You don't
for
think
black people
Beyonce has a universal
isn't
appeal?
policies, it's entertainers.
Right.
It's
Yeah, but entertainers has to vote too, though,
Yeah,
bro.
but that, in some small way, that is somewhat, and I can't say for certain, but you would think that that's an endorsement of some sort.
Yeah,
And it has influence.
endorsement. Yeah,
Now, if she gets Taylor Swift,
she already.
but I'm saying where she comes in and appears with her.
Right. Those Swifties, yeah. That
I
would
mean,
be
because she
big.
had Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, Bruce,
last
and then
night.
you got the Beehive
Right.
behind you, so everybody that
That's
follows
endorsements,
Beyonce
man. That's
is
big.
gonna follow her.
No, they following.
I think that's just
Well,
it's a big.
Trust me.
It's
What if it was Alicia Keys?
I still don't like. Plus, hasn't she already endorsed her?
No,
I
but
just-
guess
I know
my
that's your
point is
girl.
this,
I
man.
just-
I wouldn't. I don't care about Alicia Keys.
I do.
These
She's fine as a
tactics
fool.
have been tried and true. They know that they
I
work.
care about. Ask me
Trust
that
me.
question, Keith. Ask me.
And if you go to a political rally, we ain't talking policy. People ain't come there to hear policy.
no.
They want to get fired up to go out and
That's
do
right.
what they need to
That's
do,
right.
man. That's a
Hey,
revival.
when I saw Obama, he was talking policy.
We're at North.
Yeah.
North.
No, the West. Yes, North.
North Division?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he came here at North Division, he came for Mary Burke.
Yes, man.
When I saw him at North, he came for Mary Burke as a candidate. He wasn't running himself at that point in time.
It was him, Tony Evers,
Right.
Tammy
Oh,
Baldwin.
you talking most recently when he came?
I don't know about most recent.
I remember
just know
he
when
was at North Division.
when I
Yeah.
I was in
remember
the overflow room and he came back there.
No, he didn't.
Oh, really?
The one came back there?
So what year was this, man?
It was around my birthday too. Why is
old?
elections always around my birthday?
Well,
When's your
probably because you
birthday?
was born somewhere around November.
When's your birthday?
Don't matter.
When's your birthday, man?
Said it don't matter.
Jeez.
What is
But
that
I
some
think-
type
I
of
think-
some top secret? Can't tell your birthday.
It's like if I tell you, I gotta kill you.
Right.
But no, it was with Tony. It was recent because
If it's
he kept
Tony
messing
Evers.
up Tony Evers. He kept calling him Tony Evers.
Wow.
Yeah, but I saw him. Yep. I got a chance to see the one.
The one.
I'm out. You're listening to Community Voice. Caller, let's do this. Yeah, you want to do the call and then we do the perspective? Yeah, you're listening to Community Voice. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Community Voice, and now it's time for the Protege's perspective.
There are many things in life that never stop. The clock never stops. The recreation of life never stops. The rise in so many prices never stops. And the constant yearning for change never stops. The list doesn't stop there. And there's an infinite amount of things that never cease. More recently, I've begun to realize that one of those things in life that never stops is a common phrase. A phrase that is recited ever so loosely and ever so freely. It's a phrase that's often mistaken for simple because it's regurgitated frequently and commonly. It's a phrase that is easily overlooked and rarely dissected, although used endlessly. The phrase that never stops encompasses mental, physical, and spiritual fortitude. The phrase that I've begun to realize that never stops is figuring it out. So many times I've loosely said, I'll figure it out. Yet I never understood nor took the time to dissect what that truly means. I've learned that that common phrase is an action statement. It's an active statement, something to be done and not something that just magically appears. There are 3 critical steps to figuring it out. 1, analyze past, present, and future steps. 2, actively move to improve. And 3, learn from all steps and results. Like most things that involve growth, figuring it out involves taking a deep dive look in the mirror. In that deep dive, you will not always like what you have to see, but it is necessary in order to figure things out more effectively. Figuring it out will present its fair share of adversity, but if you actively press on towards the goal, whatever it is that you wish to achieve will be something to behold. Figuring it out is something much more than to be told. And to truly figure something out, you will have to be bold.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, you sang "A Change Will Come" at Keon's funeral, right?
Yes, sir.
Good
Yeah,
job.
that boy
Yes,
deep,
sir.
man. He deep.
Yes, sir.
Deep. Just the voice.
I actually got I actually recorded that song with Running Rebels
Okay.
on the Uplift project, and I did my version of it. So I reproduced it and restructured it. So yeah, it's
Good job.
a version.
All right. Some of the not in the city of Milwaukee, but some of the what we call them, the adjoining communities are doing referendums for schools, which indicates just how underfunded school systems are and how municipalities are pretty much handcuffed in terms of being able to have the revenue they need. And I think the state needs to just put in more money. But if you have Wauwatosa complaining, Wauwatosa now has to make a decision on consolidation.
I believe Whitefish Bay recently
Whitefish Bay,
did it.
yeah. I mean,
I think
it's
Glendale recently did it as well.
so it is an issue where we need to look at funding.
Whitnell was the most recent.
And that's a pretty prosperous school district. Yeah, Whitnall. So anyway, phone lines open 414-444. Talk much 444-5250 444-444-5250. Milwaukee.
It's kind of weird, for lack of a better term, to see that all of these schools are asking for so much money when our governor was a superintendent.
Yeah, but you got a Republican legislature, and they're controlling. All he can do is veto.
So I'm okay.
But that, I mean, you would think that, you know, education would potentially be a emphasis to where, every leader, in the executive office has something that they just gonna stand on, like bar none, right? And I would just assume that education, with that being his background, he that's something
But
that
he
he
doesn't
wouldn't go
control
for.
the purse strings. That's the issue. If he could go in with an executive fiat and say, "Look, I'm going to give $1 billion to public schools," you don't think he would have done it? It's the legislature. It's the Republican-led legislature. And why are we surprised? You're talking about a party that supports book banning,
Right.
which is, exposure. Education is exposure a lot of times. And to try to say we don't want to do anything where we're talking about diversity, we want
They
to
keep talking about critical
sanitize
race
history.
theory, and critical race theory is something that's taught in college.
Right. But and that's the other piece of it. For the average low information voter, they're only going on what their propaganda source is. And Ron and I, we were talking yesterday, and I said, that's why. I said this to Michelle too yesterday. That's why when I watched the convention, I watched the feed. I didn't watch the actual networks, because everybody had a commentary. There was a spin, there was a slant, right? And so tough enough. So what I did was just go on the spin and slant that the actual parties were doing as they're doing it in real time. But look, many American voters are low information voters. They're going to go on what they see. They'll hear enough. They're already, and look, there are people. I said, I would hope in 100 years there'd be no need for an NAACP. I would hope in 100 years that wouldn't be the case. But the reality is that this country is as racist, it is as misogynistic, as homophobic as it's always been. There's been, parts of this country, not all of this country, parts of this country. And that's what I think this election is really coming down to. Do you want to go back to an era where women didn't really have full rights and full citizenship, or you had people of color who were being regularly discriminated against, the good old days? And I think that as we get older, we get a tendency to wax nostalgic about how good the good old days were. Shit, there was some tough times. And a lot of us are here because if those days were so good, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Kentucky,
right?
Folks still be down there.
Still be down there.
They're here because it wasn't, and did we love each other? Was it a simpler time? Did we have fun? Yeah, but we do it all the time.
Just
in
like
spite
you said,
of.
because you adjusted, you made do with what you had.
Right. If I'm coming along and they had video games, you don't think I'd be in my house all day just playing video games? I sure would have been. It was part of why we were out, became athletes, was there was nothing to do in the crib. They playing football on the streets. Get out there, get in the game, right?
But times was different too. You actually knew your neighbors. So your neighbors were your friends.
Well, that's why it was called a neighborhood.
Yeah,
right.
Somewhere.
I just look at me growing up. My video game was at my grandma's house, and so but the fun was outside of Granny house. It was at the Boys and Girls Club or the YMCA or at the park. You know what I mean? Like I had a video game, but I wasn't gonna be on that all day.
It's funny how I have to catch myself. I react when I see a gaggle of kids. Yeah, I'm going. I used to travel to gaggle.
Mm-hmm.
We all had. You had your folks.
What's
man.
a gaggle?
A gang
gathering.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah, man.
You said, come on, man.
Gaggle of kids.
Yeah, a group of kids.
So a group. Let's say.
Well, let me. All right. Well, say we on 20th and Capitol. Well,
come on.
When I see a group of young punks, the little thugs running around.
Wednesday's word is over.
Gaggle.
This is Friday.
A gathering, a herd. What else you want to?
Hey, you should have saw his face though. You should have saw his face. He was like, "Come on, man."
I put my context clues together, so I knew
what it
meant. I knew what it meant.
Too many
big
words.
I just gotta hear If
You
from
start,
his
you
mouth.
know big words. Like what man?
Right.
Gaggle is not really a big word.
It ain't a big word. It's the context that you use it, and it's a much simpler word.
Let me ask you this question, brother. We've been doing this now for 6 years. Hasn't your vocabulary grown a little bit in the 6 years we've been doing this,
Nah,
in spite of your resistance?
no. But no offense, and I truly don't mean it offensively, but Stephen A. Smith, he'll randomly say something, and I'll be like, what does that mean?
What are you talking about?
Like one word that stuck with me was loquacious.
Oh, love that word.
He said loquacious, and I was
Did you look it up?
yeah, it means somebody that just
Just keep
talks a lot.
talking. Yeah.
And so we a guy that I coach with, we said that like that low key sound like a name. I said, I guarantee you, it's somebody in the world
Loquacious.
whose name is Loquacious. We just typed it in on Facebook, Loquacious Jones.
Well,
Somebody-
I can believe it because
somebody
people
named
name their
Loquacious
kids
Jones,
after
man.
Hennessy and
Right.
you know what I mean, all type of names. So, but that name is very unique. So that
Very
means
unique.
that kid gonna talk a lot
Maybe
Or the kid is talking a lot.
already. Yeah.
Already talking.
that
Loquacious.
caller. Thank you for your
I hate
patience.
Stephen A. Smith anyway.
Yeah.
Too
that
loud.
dude- that
What
dude-
you all loud about, man? Everything ain't that exciting. I mean, he's on 10. You gotta,
He's there to entertain though. So
you gotta be able to calibrate.
Yeah.
caller, thank you for your patience. You're on there. Caller,
There you go.
you're on
Yes,
there.
sir. Yes, sir. I had to call back because this is the question that I wanted to ask of you all. And since we are still in the month of October,
Mhm.
with regard to the observance of the Holy Day of Atonement, which represents the anniversary, the 29th anniversary of the Million Man March. And student minister Ishmael Muhammad gave the lecture, and the question was posed. And this is a part of what I was remiss when I initially called. My question is this, with regard to what student minister Ishmael Muhammad presented. Which of the presidential candidates can save the people of America or the American people from the wrath of God? Allah. That I just added that part, but God means Allah. So that was the question. And Mr. Parris, and to all of you brothers, and you all talk about politics to some degree or whatnot. That is my question to you all to reflect upon and to
Can you repeat it
respond.
one more time?
Which of the presidential candidates can save the American people from the wrath of God?
Nobody. No.
Allah.
None.
I mean, present that to our people.
Do
Since
you
all
think
have Billy Pulpit,
so? You're believing then that?
believing, not believing.
No, hold on. Let me
Believe.
hold
Yes,
on.
sir.
Wait a minute. Let me do it. I didn't get finished the sentence yet. Man.
My bad.
So are you taking the position that God will intervene into human affairs?
Hasn't God always intervened in the affairs of His creation, Mr. Parris?
I don't know.
Is that not His purpose?
But when I say by I don't know is that there are things that we ascribe to God.
Do
That's
you breathe, Mr. Parris?
I got that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about.
Are you the author of the science behind the sun's orbit and where it is positioned 93 million miles from the planet Earth?
That's not the question I'm asking you. That's
It is
already
to provide
that's been put in place. I'm asking you, do
Or is it
you
not-
do
you did
you
not get
take the
that. I did
position
that.
that God intercedes and how in human events, and then what does that look like when God has interceded in a human event?
My response, and I did respond, that hasn't God always interceded in the affairs of human beings? And if we do not look at things retrospectively in view of the past, Whereas we have books, history books, if we take things literal with regard to his story, we have to take into consideration who is the author of the story that we are taking the story from. And if we're taking things from a scriptural perspective or point of view, then we have to understand that there is a way of interpreting scripture whereas we will be precise as opposed to being accurate. And
Well, here's my disclaimer. As an ordained Baptist minister, I want to say that. And then I'm going to go out, and then I'm going to also say this, that there are things that we said God interceded on, which was more an opinion of a man, and saying that that was God. And and hold on. And the problem is that when we go anthropomorphic, which is saying we're putting human behavior
attributes
on abstracts.
Well, Allah is not an abstract.
Oh, what abstract? Yep.
No.
Well, but you
abstract is.
But for many of us, God is a belief.
Definition.
But what I'm saying to you is, God. Yeah, for many of us, might not be for you, but for many of us, God is a belief.
That is,
right?
And we
and your belief in God had everything to do with your catechism growing up. Whether you grew up in a Muslim household, whether you grew up in a Jewish household, or you grew up in a Christian household, that was how God was described to us. Well, but as we go, we begin to realize, as you just pointed out, that God is so much more than, our little box that we put God in every day so we can understand God. And I'm just asking, I'm not saying I have come to a conclusion one way or another, but show me where God has interceded in a human event.
Wow, Mr. Parris, that's not so difficult to be simply explained, because as you think,
simply explain it.
And as you think, as you breathe, as you are not self-created scientifically, you are not a random occurrence, whether your parents knew it or not. Even when the person is impregnated, she has no knowledge until something is activated in her biology. So
is that an example of God intervening in human events?
That is God providing the process.
But that's not the question I ask you. I asked you a very specific question. Give me an example where God has intervened in human events.
Whereas the advancement of humanity, Mr. Parris, whereas where you speak about science and you use science, and I understand that. And if you think that people advancing themselves has nothing to do with God having a direct involvement or people overcoming things,
so how would
as a people,
how would God interject herself into this election, which seems to be so existential?
No. My question was, which of the two of the candidates, which was the topic of the lecture that student minister Ishmael Muhammad gave, which of the two candidates of the presidential election, which of the two can save the American people from the wrath of God? And that is general.
Again, and so what does the wrath of God look like? Just so we can recognize it when it happens.
Well, it's not that. Well, the way for me to speak to that is this. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad, that God said, and he taught this, that God will use 4 things. And these are the forces of nature: hail, snow, earthquake, and rain. And which of those have we not seen become more intensified? You all call it inclement weather, and you are right, because people have contributed to a condition that is no longer tolerable for the creator of this earth. And that's why the earth said that it has a burden on it and it's trying to shake it off. And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said that when the earthquakes come,
aren't earthquakes coming in places like Oklahoma, Pennsylvania because of fracking?
Well, I don't know that, because
it is. It's called an act of man.
I understand that. That's right. Man has contributed, and because of one man, sin, right, and death, because of one man's actions, the Adam, right? Adam brought all of this on every man. But there was another man who was to bring back bring the man, that the created man that you study as, and you teach this as a preacher, I think, that you are made in the image and after the likeness of God. Arm, leg, arm, head. You are that which the Creator is. So He's greater than.
Well, that's beautiful.
Than what
It's
we
beautiful.
Are.
It's beautiful poetry.
I'm not a poet.
But
I don't
the
have
reality
time for
is,
that.
I'm just giving you a compliment on the poetry.
That's vanity
But the reality.
and philosophy. I am a literal scientist.
Okay. Well, then, if you're a literal scientist,
Yes, sir.
then you understand that God does not have human attributes.
Well, you say that, but you cannot disprove or prove your benign and lackluster understanding of Allah. Huh?
No, and I would be very honest with you. You have a very limited understanding of Allah. No, hold on. Listen, right. All of us have a very limited understanding of God.
Well, I don't make Allah vague, abstract.
Well, you don't describe him that way or her that way. But here's the problem with that.
The duality
does God,
the woman,
for example, why would God favor Jermaine over me if God created all and God loved all? Why would God then create? Wouldn't that make God a little capricious and arbitrary?
No.
Maybe
God knew something that you did not know. He is the best knower chemically. If I'm a biochemist or a chemical engineer, Mr. Parris,
yes,
and I am the author of an equation that can produce something that you don't understand, all I have to do is say, you go get this, fetch me this, that, or the other.
But you still haven't told me why God would favor Jermaine over me.
I'm trying to. Well, maybe you're just no good, Mr. Parris.
Maybe Jermaine's no good.
And maybe
I said maybe.
To be the
Well, I would just say, just to your original point on who would
save the world.
Save us. I don't think any of them would save us, just because if we are those who are readers and doers of the Bible, we know that that time will come.
Yeah.
And no matter
is presented to us, something, brother. Thank you. This is what I wanted to go with. This is all I have to say with regard to it all. Some say that Black people are non-monolithic, but remember this and know this, that judgment is non-monolithic as well. You get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
No, I mean, I wrote a
maybe you're just no good, Mr. Parris.
I wrote a perspective a while ago, just doing away with saviorism and things of that nature. But I mean, even if we are just going to simply speak on biblical terms or the Quran, we know that God will come back and there will be a wrath. And so and then just as we are doers and readers of the word, we know that what is meant to be will be according to his will or her will.
No, hold on.
Fatalism.
No, hold on.
Did Jesus not come?
Hold up, wait.
Did he not say that there will be someone who is my son and will come and save the world from their sins? That no matter what happened, that was something that still occurred.
Not Jesus. That would have been God.
That was something that still occurred.
Okay, listen, to the point that DJ is making and to the point that the young man made. What we have to understand is that the word is written.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And the word was written to actually give us information for what's to come.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have to be very, very, very careful with. Now, I believe his name was Chris.
Yep.
Okay, Chris. Yep, Christopher. He asked the question of who will be able to save us.
Nobody.
And no natural human being can save us from the wrath of God because it's already written.
What if the human being repents?
Hold on, no, hold on, wait.
No,
It ain't even. That's not
because
even based
repentance-
on that.
Go to if you go
Wait,
go to Second Chronicles 14. I was just going to go there.
But
what does it say that you have to do?
hold on. It said,
Turn
from your wicked ways.
Turn.
Then will I hear. Wait. It said, if my people.
And what does that call? Repentance.
Wait.
Change.
Listen. Hold up. Wait. Listen. He said, then will I hear from heaven and heal the land.
Yeah.
But he didn't say that from the wrath of God, the which is coming, that he was going to prevent that. He was somehow healing the land. Now, there's a difference between being healed and there's a total difference between being made whole. When you're made whole, that what you was healed, that you was made whole from can never come back.
All I asked Christopher was give me an example, a concrete example of when God intervened in human events.
What, Moses?
Okay, recently.
Well, no, you didn't say recently.
Oh, okay. All right. Can I say recently
No,
now?
yeah.
But that's going to be a matter of opinion because I just recently saw an infant child fall out of a window
And survive.
Okay, hold on.
So there have been instances
Yep.
where young children have not survived for less.
Mhm.
So now, from an individual observing that, a Christian that was born in the church would say, "Man, God was really with them."
Okay, well, let me.
That's not. Would that not be perceived?
Was God not with the other babies?
Wait,
that
hold
fell
on,
out
hold on,
that
hold on,
didn't
hold on.
survive?
Wait.
But that's my point, is that you can look at either scenario and say, this was God, or this was God, or where was God? But we do know that particular instance, what I just named, was something miraculous that we can't explain.
Hey, matter of fact, I can give you
Because
one
for
reason to
every
that.
rule, there is an exception.
Wait,
And you probably, based on how that baby fell and where that baby fell, right? Because now that's the argument. And I'm gonna be agnostic in this argument.
okay.
That whether you believe that life is random and it's like when Christopher was saying that, you say it was God. Okay, so it was God who had my father walk into a ice cream shop and meet my mother. They get married, have a child, and then get divorced.
Mhm.
Well, purpose. When stuff like that happen, it's a purpose behind them meeting. So yeah, God can be in that. The purpose, it don't mean that you're going to stay together. The purpose of them coming together was for that particular person to be born at that particular time. But I can give you an example of God stepping in and intervening. And this is what I
I'm
say.
not talking about your.
Well, hold on, wait, no,
I'm
hold
talking
on,
about personal
hold on,
miracles.
wait,
I'm talking-
hold on, no, because if you're gonna say it, though, you gotta go all the way, Jack. So, prime example. I'm at church at rehearsal. Our sound tech died in the booth.
Okay.
I run up the steps, watch this man die in front of me. Eyes roll back, heart stop, one breathing. They doing CPR on. Paramedics come, they shock him 7 times, right?
Mhm.
The praise team and the preachers that was in there started praying. They praying, right? They shocking the man. No life. I'm looking at this man. He's not breathing. No air going to his brain for 20 minutes.
Okay.
On the ride to the hospital, he sat up in the paramedics.
Okay.
This man right now, I can call him on the phone. You can talk with him. No brain damage, no nothing to his brain.
Yeah.
That right there is an example of God intervening, because there's no way scientists or medical can explain you not having oxygen going to your brain for 20 minutes.
Who had that same?
So that
What's
means
your
that
name?
God stepped in on this particular.
Okay, so why would God step in?
It's
And
his
not the-
purpose.
Okay, hold on, wait a minute. Why would God step in for your guy? I'm not saying your guy. Certainly, thank you, Jesus.
Right.
But how many other thousands of people
Exactly.
that didn't happen?
When your purpose is done,
So what?
when your purpose is done.
I was just about to say that,
So
because
when your purpose is done, Jack,
everybody has a time, and when your
and when your
time,
purpose is
clear
done,
on
your
that.
purpose is done.
I'm clear on that. But what I'm saying, I'm asking,
But that would
is-
explain why those
Exactly.
other people though.
Didn't make it.
You know, Stevie sang a song last night that is so true. When he started singing Superstition, and he said, when those things that we don't understand,
Right.
then we fall back on religion, we fall back on our belief systems, because maybe me, can humanly not explain it. And it could be things that after a while, the doctors immediately would look at and go like, I can't explain it. But then as they go through and do more research, they go, oh, this happens. Oh, great example. I know we got to go.
Or they just making some money.
What's my guy's name? I don't want,
Because
Mr.
they've never
Hamlin.
done that.
Mr. Hamlin.
Oh yeah,
Right.
the cat that died
No.
on the field, a buffalo.
That's a 1 in 1 million.
His purpose wasn't done, Keith.
No, the same thing happened to
Now
Bronny.
you're spiritualizing it.
No, it's
I'm
not,
I'm
bro.
asking. No,
the
you
same,
are.
No, the same thing
No,
happened to Bronny.
it was a physical. It was
He
a
went into
physical,
cardiac arrest.
But he could have
Was that
died.
spiritual?
He could have died.
It was physical.
It was physical,
He
but
didn't die.
he didn't die because his purpose is not done.
Just think about what happened to him. That's a 1 in 1. I think the odds of that happening where, and just so people know medically what happened, when the dude hit him in his chest, it threw off his heart rhythm. Dudes getting hit chest football every day. That was what, and for lack of a better term, that was the perfect hit.
Listen, man, I know a cat right now that got shot 17 times.
Yep.
17 times. He's alive and well. I also know a person that got shot 1 time and is dead as a fool. But you want to know why?
Why?
Because the person that died, his purpose was done. There was no purpose for his life anymore.
Was that God intervening?
We'll pick this up after the break. We'll be right back.
Was that God intervening? All right, welcome back. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning. You're on there.
Hey, good morning. How you doing? I just want to. Christopher made a comment about something about going into a store. With it. Let me get my radio. Going into a store where people using racial slurs and saying things. And my argument is, why go there and spend your money in the first place when somebody do that? You know, and then if the media was correct about over a pizza, so now you don't ruin your life over a pizza.
Yeah.
And it seemed like Christopher was giving that guy a pass.
No.
For shooting him.
No, he
That's
was
what
just
it sounded
saying,
like to me.
No, I don't think so. I think he was just saying that maybe this guy wasn't the model citizen.
Yeah.
And that's his opinion.
Okay, but my opinion is if any of us go into an establishment and somebody is disrespecting us or whatever, racial slurs or being rude to us, I know me, I'm not going to spend my money there.
Because
I'm not going to go back there.
Somewhere else.
Yeah, what if that's your only means of being able to get food?
So someone can call you all kind of racial slurs, and I understand what you're saying. I get that. So you're still going to put up with that stuff, and I think that's part of our problem. That we get poor service in our community, and I understand. Sometimes you don't have the means to go to other places, but this gentleman, how long is he going to probably go to jail now?
75 years. So he faces 75
years. But he has no defense. Oh, I didn't like because he touched my pizza or whatever. Whatever. And then he wasn't supposed to have that firearm anyway. So I mean, where did he win? Where did he win from?
He's not a hero. No one is saying he's a hero. Not by any stretch of the imagination.
I mean, what you talking about is just making better choices, thinking things out more clearly. But as far as just not having access to more resources, I mean, a lot of us have went to jobs and go to many places where we haven't had a positive interaction with a particular person or a particular establishment, but because that's just what we have to do, we end up back in that particular environment.
Even I get what you're saying, brother DJ, but even those of us that have the means to go to places, we get poor service in certain restaurants. Oh, well, I'm going to go and eat here. We get discriminated against. I think years ago, Denny's was doing that, but we just got to go there for some reason. And these people had the means, professional people, whatever, but we still go and spend our money. That's the problem. I'm trying to understand that where they don't, they don't want us there. I think Cracker Barrel had some years ago, and maybe they kind of changed over the years. But those of us that have the means, we still put up with this. With people, calling us racial slurs and all kinds of stuff. That's just. I'm just trying to grapple with that, because that young man or whatever he's going to jail for up to 75 years over, even though he just made a bad choice and a bad decision. Plus, someone's dead, regardless if he was a racist or whatever. I'm just trying to grapple with that.
So this happened Saturday afternoon. So
where?
On King Drive in Keith. Right on the corner. So I have a question for you. So you said, from them calling us names and things like that, why do we still go back? So my question to you is, if it's something that you really want, are you going to allow someone else's words to stop you from getting what you want?
Well, it depends. I'm not. This is just me personally, and whatever. I know a lot of people may not agree, or they may agree, but I'm just not. What's in that corner store that you really have to go get?
Food, Pampers, toilet tissue, soap, things that people need for the neighborhood.
But look how much you're paying out of your pocket.
But you don't have an alternative.
Yeah, you can't go to Walgreens. You can't go to Walmart because you don't have a vehicle. You don't have the means of transportation to go get this stuff. So you have to walk to your friendly neighborhood store and get these things. And they're going to raise the prices up because they know you can't get to Walmart.
And as much as we like to say that, we should have friends and family and all of that, everybody's not going drive
Do you
you
know,
every
I have-
single time you need.
I have seen not every occasion, but I have seen some people go and buy like cooking oil or maybe some milk, and I get that. But the majority of the stuff they have in that store is stuff to wrap, put the like blunt
Man,
wraps
come on,
and
man. You
flavor
can't
that.
do that.
It's
See,
the
but you
truth.
can't do that though, because for the simple fact, now you're stereotyping, and that's not fair.
Yeah. And look, I might have to go. It's funny because we're talking about up on King Drive and Keith. That's the old Low Drugs, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly
And
what it was.
but see, for us back in the day, it was the Minute Mark down on Second and Keith.
Sure, what? Yeah.
And if you went to the Minute Mark, that means all the other major stores were closed, and that was before gas stations had stuff in it. So that you went to and you paid more because, and you're right. And look,
What you guys saying?
what
Yeah,
I'm
go-
saying
sorry.
is that, and then you cannot compete. Small mom and pop can't compete with Pick and Save. So with Pick and Save, the reason why you get the prices that you get at Pick and Save is volume, right? Where these folks, and then there is the tax of you basically working in or having a business in underserved, under-resourced communities. The cost of your insurance goes up. There's a whole lot of factors that go into it. But I agree with you. If you're being disrespected, it's like how many Koreans were disrespecting black women going in there buying hair care products.
And they were still going.
Sure. And remember when Commander McGee was out doing the protest
And they was
and
still
Negroes
going.
was walking through the protest.
They was walking past.
Right.
They
So
still needed something.
you just, because when you want what you want, you will put up with a whole lot of stuff to get what you want. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
All right.
You know, but the other part of it is a lot of times, and we see it, they didn't do it to me, so I ain't
Right.
tripping.
That's another instance I was gonna bring up because
Yeah.
I'm for real, because
true.
like I'm close with
It was
y'all.
Jermaine. They didn't do it to me.
I'm
so,
close with
I go
y'all.
there
So
all the
like
time, and
if
he
y'all
ain't never
say
talk crazy to me.
don't go here, then I'm like, well, I'm gonna stay away because I'm close with y'all.
Right.
But let's say I'm not close with
Right.
y'all, and I just see somebody walking out cussing and acting all kind of crazy. Oh, that's them.
Yeah.
Right.
They must be acting a fool.
And here's
You
the
know
other
What
You
they
know
do
I'm
to
saying?
get that, you know?
What
what I mean?
precipitated? It was maybe some of the customers were doing that might even precipitated a response.
Prior to,
Right. I mean, I'm just saying. So poor customer service.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things that come into play with scenarios like that.
I didn't even get the whole story. I mean, what's the
I'll tell you,
story that's
what
supposed to go
happened
with
was the young man went into the store, ordered a pizza. He was upset, man, that the guy was cooking his pizza with no gloves on, was using his hands. So he went to the counter. He got to arguing with the guy. He reached over the counter and shot him in the chest one time. And the guy died right there. So the thing is that, and I see this when I go to the gas stations in my neighborhood. The kids, they come in there, they clowning them people, they talking about them, they acting the fool, they stealing, they running out. So they got to deal with a lot of stuff. And then you got a customer like me that's civilized, that's going to come pay for his gas and pay for whatever else I need, that they look at me and my skin color, but then they wait until I open my mouth and see how I act. And then that's how they see how to deal with you. Because if you rowdy and if you clowning, they gonna deal with you that same way because they already been dealing with this all day long.
And that's just not even that corner stores. That's
that's
even that's
everywhere.
even that, because I had to snap on a few people like, hey, you said hello, how are you doing to all these white people, and then when I come up,
Right.
you just scanning my stuff. I was like, that's rude.
Right.
You know, how you doing? Hello.
Say
then
something.
I get loud with that. Like that's how you greet somebody. You know what I'm saying?
All right, caller, welcome to the program.
Hey, Keith and fellas, how you doing? This John.
Good.
Good morning.
Hey, John.
I wasn't going to say anything until this last comment. I was once at the Pick and Save over there on Capitol or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was checking out. I always say hi, and I always say, how you doing? And there's a black lady. She's just kind of like hump, one of those kind of people that just go, nothing, no hello, nothing, just that kind of, people that talk that way. So then a couple of seconds later, she's sitting there gossiping with her girlfriend at the other cash register, talking back and forth. And I'm standing there thinking, you couldn't say hi to me, but you can say hump to me, and you can sit in there and talk about the latest whatever. with your girlfriend, and it wouldn't have mattered if she's a white or a black girl. These just happen to be black girls, but I've seen tons of white girls do the same thing. Everybody, we had all kinds of that, but that wasn't what I was going to call about. The thing about the predictability, like when the guy apparently died, he could be anything, because we just discovered halogens like aerogens, those noble gases like helium, xenon, and stuff like that. We only discovered them in the last about 150 years. We only discovered most of the periodic table in the last couple hundred years. Scientists were bored by gold because it didn't do anything. Now they're finding all kind of stuff that it does. So there's so much we're learning. And the tiniest thing, we're finding out stuff smaller than protons. And we're just discovering so much. These guys they're learning so fast. And that's how the computers get better and better every day. So the way the body works, these tiniest little things, we don't know what causes a guy to stay quietly, like in a state of yoga. And like those kung fu yoga people who can mimic being totally catatonic, you just don't know. And I think there's one author that said God is like that stuff we can't explain, the stuff that is way beyond. Beyond
and that was the point of Stevie Wonder's song. Things that we don't understand.
Yeah.
Superstition. That word superstition just means a strongly held belief.
Yeah, that was a good point.
It's based on belief. It's not based on fact.
Yes.
And we do live, and I know why this is so hard for some people to grasp. We live in a fact-based world, right? It is matter, right? But what happens is, again, because of our catechism, our religious upbringing, and trying to understand things that might be beyond my human understanding, my intellect. Look, if I go study it, it's one thing. Like if I sit up and start talking about I was talking to a group of men yesterday, and I was saying, man, every day I'm really fascinated by evolutionary science, because all evolution is saying is that species adapt in order to survive.
But one thing
that's not a religious thought.
Right.
That is actually what happens.
One thing that we do is we group everything into the same bowl. So if this happened to one person, then it should happen to another person. And then when it doesn't, then we begin to try to figure out, well, why didn't it happen to this person, but happened to that person?
7 billion human existence out there. 7 billion people on the planet. And trust me, there's some things that are universal, but then there are exceptions. I was saying,
but we speak on things as if it's universal, and that's why we get those big disagreements.
It's easy.
There's a term to sum that up.
Right. And we use this term a certain level of intellectual. It was what Al was talking about yesterday, a certain level of intellectual laziness, right? That I'm not going to go, or your exposure. If I've been trained in biology, in microbiology, I have a different understanding than the person who never did. So the person who never did, what do they have? A lot of times, it's my belief system that helps me cope. It's hard to, and that's why I'm saying that's that push up that you get between the catechism of my religious upbringing, which then pushes back against matter.
Hey, John, we got one more caller we're going to get before we have to head up out of here.
Hey, thanks.
All right, good to hear from you, man.
Yep.
Caller, you're on there.
I wanted to finish my sermon.
No, go ahead.
No, go. Caller up to the program. He cut me off on purpose.
Caller, you're on there.
Oh, we got a call. Call him up to the program. On purpose.
I ain't called him off on purpose.
Go and call him up to the program.
See?
Yes, my comment is that we live in a world that is fact-based, but that is not the extent of our existence. There are worlds that are beyond the physical, and I would venture to say are even more powerful than the physical. When you said fact-based, okay, a fact has to be proven from something that's observed. So that means that truth existed before the fact even came. So there is a truth, then there is God.
Now, when you say truth, you're talking 40,000 years, right? You're not talking the billions of years of existence. Because truth
No,
is something that human beings use. That's a human thing. We talk about truth or
No, I'm not
falsehoods.
talking about
Those
the
are human
human.
things.
No. I'm talking about the truth that the creator of everything would be the only one to have the knowledge of. And then we study the creation and study things, and then from that we come up with our facts. There's always going to be a greater knowledge and a greater truth where we are able to quote prove, because we are using limited we're using limited tools, and people can be given information through inspiration. Everything doesn't have to come through Googling or through from what someone else has said, that there's a creator there and he can inspire people. And also, in living, the creator cares to, or he doesn't care to. And I always, my last comment is that we can't prove God, but God can prove himself to whoever asks and asks and opens himself up to that knowledge. Nobody can prove that to you or disprove it to you.
It might be an exercise in futility too. How do we explain it? It's hard. Let me thank DJ Jermaine. Thank you, Debo. Thank you, callers.
Thank you.
We thank you. Good Lord willing, creek don't rise. Hope to talk to everybody on Monday. Y'all have a safe weekend and go from this place in peace.